All right, LAPD is stalking my helicopter as I'm capturing close-up images of group stalking by John Kim, Melania Padilla, and the demons of Silverview townhomes flying directly over my apartment. This is what they've been doing. Repeatedly flying over. These are the cowards that are hiding as I'm capturing video. These are the cowards that are failing at protecting the people of the state. These are cowards who are demon possessed. Let me be clear. They are out of their minds. Demon possession makes you a psychopath, and you can see that through the criminal conduct that they engage in. And it's very highly malicious and psychotic. So they are hiding for the duration of the video that they are watching me, monitoring me create. And as I document the people of the state and capture a series of screenshots so you can hone in on the analysis that I'm providing you in real time, while group stalking is underway, the demons fly directly over my apartment. This is called relevant positioning. They're flying in perfect alignment with me. They just flew over my apartment, creating what is rumbling over my apartment, which is called crossing a path, light activity creation, in concert with the demons that are pacing all around in the vehicle, just like you see you do see Sean walking under the light source, and in the vehicle in the parking lot, and Melania Padilla and Hector Aparicio and the demons of Silverview townhomes. That's called light activity. They're acting with the demons who are surrounding in the specific environment on the ground around me, and they are crossing path, rumbling my apartment, which is sensational activity, and they are engaged in what is a sex offense while Dominic Choi is being documented, and the men and women of the demon-possessed agency, the demon-infected agency, providing a template for what the Rialto Police Department were doing with the minions of Sunrise Church, what the Anaheim and Corona Police Department are doing while you're looking at them in police chases on the freeway. They're group stalkers, and this is the entity engaged in state surveillance. It is not different. LAPD is showing you what is going on and what is wrong with the entity that is group stalking in a very specific environment. There's no sun that's going to be over my apartment for the duration of the day. You saw Sean Jung walk by, and his shadow was all over the ground. Okay, well, you're seeing these demons fly over this property at 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 in the evening. There's no sun that's going to be over me at that time. There's also no sunrise that's going to be at the same hillside where you're seeing a demon, Sean Jung, walk as though the sun is directly over him, and you can see that through what is the shadow that's directly under him. And then you see him walk back and forth. That's pacing. You know what this is? Flying in a helicopter in a circle? That's pacing. You're looking at demon possession, and it is equally shared by all of those who are in the specific environment, group stalking. This is group stalking that's occurring in a helicopter while they are engaged in what is a sex offense that the entire state of California is going to be prosecuted for. And that ongoing knowledge of the fact that one is enforcing their constitutional rights, and they are ducking and dodging cameras because they want to continue being a sex offender, they want to continue being a terrorist, they want to continue being a stalker, engaging in what is entirely psychotic surveillance, sitting around in helicopters all day because they are ashamed and they know exactly what is criminal about what they're doing, and they intend to continue doing it. I want to be clear. This is the psychopath that demon possession makes human beings. And every single demon-possessed individual, a part of the LAPD, including Dominic Choi, are fired. They are going to be dismissed and permanently removed from the position. The LAPD will be, again, made over, disbanded. And I'm not exaggerating, because I'm telling you exactly what their speaks to and what is an inevitable conclusion, what is an inevitable response by the federal government and every other corrupt agency that I document and engage in state surveillance, just like you see the demon that is Sean Jung walking under what is not possibly the sun while I'm documenting what just so happens to be the elements of monitoring in an impossible environment. Those are demons that are pacing, and I'm going, pay attention to the screenshots that I took, because that's what prompts these demons to fly directly over my apartment. They did the same thing while they flew in a circle repeatedly for over 20 to 30 minutes the other night while I'm documenting the same entity, the people of the state. They're not going anywhere either. They know that I'm pointing out the fact that they're demons and they're pacing just like Sean Jung was pacing under the light source that's over me. In engineered light, that's not sunlight. That demon was walking back and forth, that's pacing. Flying in a circle in helicopter, that's pacing. They're demons in a helicopter, demons pacing in front of my apartment while they are monitoring what I'm doing on the video of the internet. And I want to be clear, group stalkers that are engaging in surveillance using helicopters, they go to federal prison. They're going to federal prison. And Dominic Choi is fired. That's a police chief that's engaged in state terrorism and also engaged in what is ongoing documented terrorism while you're monitoring an American citizen, continuously doing so while they are fully engaged in enforcing their constitutional rights, which while you're engaged in federal stalking, and you necessarily are, as I've shown you the same pattern of conduct with real-time knowledge of what I'm documenting as I'm documenting, publishing it on the internet, trying to obstruct my ability to publish the evidence on the internet, the absence of coincidence while you are still targeting me, while you're flying over my apartment, while my apartment is rumbling, while you're flying over my apartment, while you're flying over my apartment and around my apartment as I'm documenting the people of the state, while you're flying around my apartment and over my apartment multiple times every single day and night. Okay, while I happen to utter the name, the Lord Jesus, those demons are hostile and they start flying over my apartment. Those are the ones that are going to be disbanded, and you will be going to federal prison as you're stalking in helicopters. That's a federal offense that results in federal prison. It's currently 11:40 a.m. I want you to pay attention to the screenshots that I took. It's currently, again, 11:40. So those screenshots, after I captured that video, starting at approximately around 11:09 in the morning, I captured that video, and then I proceeded to take screenshots of that video because I like to point out the criminal conduct that the entity is engaging in, and then I give you screenshots, and you're literally looking at the elements of monitoring. While they're engaging what is driving their vehicles, it's light activity and crossing path. They're monitoring while my voice is the audible activity and all elements are present. And they're also doing it vicariously on behalf of that entity that flew over my apartment, that's ducking and dodging, being captured on video through that video. While I'm capturing that video, taking screenshots throughout it. But also, while I am engaging in this conduct, providing additional analysis, that demon that's trying to avoid being captured on video, even though they're an established terrorist. You're already an established terrorist. When you capture one video, there's no coincidental or accidental presence, the helicopter conduct that's occurring in a specific environment, they're terrorists. And that is exactly what you will conclude where the pattern of conduct is established. And this entity, again, like I said, this is the psychopath that reasons in its mind, I'm going to go kill more people in order to throw them off the federal government that already has my fingerprints and the dying declaration of the victim that they killed. All of the evidence is pointing to them. They reason in their mind, and they being the demon-possessed population that create a public safety concern, they reason in their mind, I'm going to go engage in more murders to throw them off. That is in no way removing the evidence that is already it is a surefire prosecution. You are definitely going away for the crime that you are unmistakably, and as a matter of what is a legal conclusion, you are already prosecuted for it. That's a psychopath that does that. That's a psychopath that's in a role of law enforcement. They know exactly what is criminal as they do it. That's a psychopath. Understand that. The entity that's acting in concert with the people of the state share that same demon possession. That's revealing what is a psychopath. Let me be clear. The entity is engaged in what is supposedly a secret system. That's called malice. Knowledge of what is illegal, knowledge of what they're doing and outside of the desires and the wishes and the rights of an American citizen, that is clearly documenting it, and you're continuously engaging in it and trying to do so in a malicious manner. But then when you are surrounded with the evidence of what is the specific environment, you're looking at a demon surrounded in engineered light, looking perplexed while you're asking them, were you banging on the wall right now? That's a psychopath. Okay? That's a psychopath that's subject to mental examinations, that's going to federal prison. And if they're not a natural born citizen like Jong Kim, she's going to be shipped out of this country. She's going back to Korea. Korea can handle that. All right. The entity is engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring 11:43 a.m. Just like I stated, repeatedly flying over my apartment. This is harassment as an entity. All the demons in this population are engaged in surveillance while I'm inside of my apartment. It's a documented state sex offense. While you see the helicopter flying over me, that's a sex offense. Criminal surveillance inside of an American citizen's private space is a sex offense, and that's exactly how a public entity is going to be prosecuted. And then you're going to slice that public entity down by name. And Lucy Santos is going to be prosecuted as a sex offender, a perpetual sex offender, which is a sex offense committed by a public entity where state surveillance, federal group stalking and monitoring, and federal stalking on the venue of the internet is underway. Because you have a right to not be subject to what is that unlawful and unfathomable level of invasion of privacy on a ceaseless basis with a corrupt government that even at that is also monitoring the evidence that you're accumulating to enforce your rights. And then they are entirely delusional because they have not set their persons in a federal court yet to face that prosecution. Let me be clear. The P.O.C., its existence, is speaking to what is, again, it's already accomplished in the spirit. These are delusional psychopaths, and they will be disbanded. You're permanently removed from your position where you pose a threat to the public, whether that be in the legal profession, in law enforcement, in the medical field, and amongst the population, the vulnerable parts of the population, where it is that you may or may not be able to just move. You don't have the free will, especially with the criminal record you're going to walk away with for being a group stalker. Okay, so it is currently, again, 11:44 a.m. This is P.O.C.